Go and get him. Wow. Get him. What's that? What's that?
Hello, my historical fashion friends, and welcome to the next part of my dye journey. We're going to be dyeing with madder again, but this time going for more of a terracotta color and trying out some experiments over dyeing a couple of different fabric samples. My apologies because the apron dress video was supposed to come out today, but the woven hem is taking a lot longer than I expected, and so I decided that I'll put out this video today instead. I'm going to be dyeing a couple of different wool samples. The first one is this plain beige wool, which I have also used in my weld dye and my burgundy dye videos. This is a kind of loose weave wool, and I got it from, I think this one was from a Thrifty Notion. And I got like 15 yards when I bought all of it, so I have a bunch of different samples, and that undyed sample I just showed you is going to be used for another dye video in the future when I'm going to use indigo. So let's get started.
Okay, so as I get ready to dye this fabric with a madder dye, I'm trying to get a rose color. I'm interested this time to see how much it shrinks, so I have measured it, and it right now is 444 centimeters by 140 centimeters. I'll put up how much this is in inches. I could only find my centimeter measuring tape today, so I measured in centimeters, and I'm really interested to see how much it shrinks, and I am going to scour it right now, and then tomorrow I will be dyeing it. And right now I'm just going to cut myself a little sample to use on my dye pages, so I have something for what it was to start with. Okay, so in summary, the original piece of fabric was 444 centimeters by 140 centimeters, or 174 3/4 inches by 55 inches. Then I cut off 150 centimeters by 140 centimeters, or 59 inches by 55 inches, to reserve for my indigo dyeing piece later. The remainder was 294 centimeters by 140 centimeters, or 115 3/4 inches by 55 inches. And after dyeing, the result is that it's 288 centimeters by 124 centimeters, or 113 1/4 inches by 48 3/4 inches. The loss is 6 centimeters by 16 centimeters, or 2 1/4 inches by 6 1/4 inches. And here we have our water. Honestly, every time I use this, the water starts to turn blue. And I think there just must be copper in the pipes. Okay, I'm just going to let this soak and turn it every couple of hours. And tomorrow we will start dyeing. And now I am just kind of making this backup bucket for me to dump the hot alum liquid into, and I'm kind of warming up the second piece to be prepared to receive the alum. Okay, so I have separated out the smaller piece from the larger piece. The blue water is very mysterious to me, but I'm going to dump this out and now bring it to my dye pot. Just filling up a second pot full of water to do another dye bath, round 2, and add in some of my other fabrics for testing. I'm going to be overdying this well-dyed wool and this woad-dyed wool and seeing what the result is and if there is a difference between the two. We might try to play with acidity as well, so let's get to it. I'm just reusing the same madder root powder as the first round and just extracting more dye from it because I think it has a lot left to offer. Also, since these pieces have not been really washed at all, other than just rinsed since their original dye, I'm not going to mordant them again. So I'm just going to leave them as is and see what happens. And right now this is what this set of fabric looks like. So we will see how it looks when it is done soaking overnight. I'm probably going to add the remainder of that other bath as well to this bath as soon as I finish dyeing those fabrics. It's looking like a little bit browner than I really want. I kind of want it to look like coral color when it's dry, but it's kind of hard to tell at this stage. I think it has to be a lot more pigmented because it's probably going to wash out a lot. After 24 hours of soaking. Red. Okay, time to rinse this out and then do a post bath. Perhaps for a couple of the pieces in alkaline solution and some in a acidic solution. So here is my basic solution, and I'm going to go get my acidic solution. Now we have acidic in here. Okay, so let's see what happens. These in here. Versus these ones. This one out. And this is just how I bring it out. Basically this long cord. And here is what it's looking like wet. Kind of a terracotta, I guess I would say. Okay, so I just rinsed these ones out that were in the alkaline bath. They're very splotchy. Yikes. These ones I'm still putting in the acidic bath. And this one is nearly dry. Realized I like almost dyed it my skin tone, which is bizarre. And then I rinsed out the bag and it's a really beautiful color.
Here you can see the example of the fully dyed and dried wool. I love this color so much. I realized it's like really close to my skin tone, but like just a couple of shades darker, it seems, maybe a little more pinky. But I really love it, and I'm very excited to use this to make a sort of like a lower middle class impression for a tutor character. And here you can see a drawing I did of that character and what I am going to make. I'm looking forward to making something slightly more structured and seeing how that goes. It's going to have side lacing, and I think this fabric is going to be really beautiful for that outfit. And then this is the dye bag that I put the madder powder into, and it's turned a really beautiful pink color. I really like it. I have this little tab at the end so I could cut it off and put it in my dye journal, which is going to be another upcoming video. And I'm really pleased with this color, actually. I was hoping that my secondary samples were going to turn out to be kind of this color, but they didn't. They didn't really dye very evenly, which is unfortunate. So I might try to dye one group of them over with some turmeric, and then dye another group of them over with the indigo and see if I can get sort of a purpley color. But we'll see how that goes. They ended up really splotchy, which is interesting to me because the large fabric sample didn't really end up splotchy. So I'm not sure why that happened. So if you see here, this was an overdye of my weld dyed wool, and it's just got a lot of splotchiness on it, which is really sad. I just can't tell why it ended up so splotchy. It's like, it actually like does strange things to my eyes when I look at it. This one came out a little less splotchy. It's overdyed from the woad dye disaster. And it's like a little bit more pink. The other one is a little more orangey. I tried to do after baths in, let me hold them next to each other. So yeah, this one is a lot lighter than this one. This one had an afterbath in vinegar, and this one had an afterbath in baking soda and water, and I was trying to alter the pH to see what different colors I could get, but I think that unfortunately my, like, bath water or like plumbing water, tap water, is very basic. And I think that alters the color. As you can all see, and I think it's even more prominent in this video than it was last time, which is that the water turned blue again after being in my pot. It's an aluminum pot. And I don't know like why, but it also does that when I like draw a bath, is that after a while of being out in the air, the water turns blue. And I want to get one of those copper test kits to see if it's copper in the water, because that's obviously going to kind of affect all of my dye experiments if there's a high quantity of copper in the water. So that might be a video coming up as well. Let me know if you're interested in that, because I'm like truly mystified, because when I am pouring the water like in, or even when you see me like rinsing things, or when I first draw the bath to soak the fabric, it is not blue. But then it ends up being blue. So strange. Thank you all for watching this short dye experiment video, and give it a subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I will be back on Tuesday with a video on how I finish the ends of my tablet weaving bands, belts, etc. And then next weekend is going to be the apron dress video. And I was out for 2 hours today, and I went to the park to film the apron dress video for you guys, and the hem is just taking a really long time. So I'm loving the way it's turning out, so I'm really excited about that. But it is definitely going to take another week for me to finish that. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. If you want to go follow me on Instagram, my handle is gabrielle.westwood. See you next time.